Music Matters, Mr. Diego. How you doing, sir?
What up? What up? What up?
That was awesome. Hell yeah. We're on the radio, Diego. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Coming down from a sickness.
What kind of sickness?
It's like one of those sicknesses that just got you going crazy.
Was it like a cold situation?
Yeah, it was like a cold, but like also I was like getting some really bad diarrhea.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, the stomach was not okay.
I was cold. I was sick, like kind of sick on Monday and Sunday, and I kind of felt like shit. And I feel like post-COVID, I have this thing where like whenever I get sick, I just like immediately like get terrified that I have COVID.
Yeah.
Like it's always like my first thought now, which fucking sucks.
No, that's how it be, man. I every now and then I'm just like, oh shit, I'm about to die.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't even know what it is. I'm about to die.
Yeah.
And I just kind of enjoy my last few moments. I don't really know. I don't know anything about that. We're live.
I feel you, bro. I feel
Tripping crazy right now.
When do you start feeling better? That's gotta be stressful, like feeling sick right before a show, because I know you had a show tonight.
Yeah.
Big ass day today for you. Yeah. This you said, and then a live session after, and then a show tonight. That's a hell of a day.
We're going press conference tour, doing all that.
Hell yeah.
I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. My bad.
When did you start feeling better?
I started feeling better like around yesterday.
Nice.
Just trying to detox everything.
Yeah.
I got asthma, so it's a lung thing. My lungs feel weak.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I bet that'd be really hard to juggle as a singer. Like,
oh yeah.
Do you have any like pretty tied in pre-show rituals you do? Like the day of a show, do you have a certain routine, or you kind of just wake up and do the same thing?
I just kind of wake up and do the same thing. Maybe before we go up on stage, I'll stretch a little bit. But, you know, I just try to relax the voice. And just go to sleep mostly, because things get crazy.
Yeah.
Things get crazy.
Yeah, no, I feel it. I like the phrase "go to sleep before a show." It's kind of cool. I mean, that's kind of what performing is. Like, there's this weird sensation when you're performing where you kind of like black out on stage, and not in like a literal sense, but it's like you just 1 second you're not up there, next second you're there, and it feels like in a second it's over. Yeah,
man, like that stuff's crazy. It's always a trip, because I feel like not a lot of people ever like experience that sort of feeling, you know? It's like that's like a really weird feeling. It's cool though to see everybody just enjoying the music.
Yeah, I feel like it's so difficult, because that's such like I don't even know if humans are meant to like process that kind of feeling. It's so
I don't think so. Yeah.
It's like so strange and like non-human in a way. Like, because think about it, like you are literally elevated on this stage above all these people, and they're watching you as if you're some sort of like different type of thing, but you know, you're just a guy.
I'm just the same old guy. Yeah, I just work at Spirit Halloween, man. That shit. I'm just a normal guy. Yeah.
But it's got to feel super weird. Do you I know you've been doing this for like not super long now, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like
like 2 years.
2 years,
yeah,
gotcha.
2 years.
When do you think you started to feel comfortable on stage? I know there was a bit too where you took like a bit of hiatus from performing and stuff. How did you kind of begin to grow confidence on stage, or was it something that you always just had naturally?
Well, I think the first 2 times I kind of was like nervous starting off, and then like afterwards, well, I usually I like to take control of my emotions, whether that be like anxiety, sadness, or anything. So like to like try to take away all that anxiety that I was having, like with playing shows. Like before the show, I was like, okay, how can I make this shit the stupidest shit ever while still putting on a show? Like I would like kickflip pallets. Just like doing flips and shit. Yeah, like I just start doing like the stupidest shit, because like at the end of the day it doesn't matter, you know. Like if I'm just being me up on stage, you know, people like it, they don't, whatever. You know? It's all just fun at the end of the day. It's like, you know, don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, I think that mentality is so huge, bro. Like I think when you start to take things so seriously that you're kind of like beating the fun out of them, they like in turn, it's ironic. Like you're taking them more seriously, but in turn they're getting worse. Yeah. Because you're just like, when you think about things through that lens, you kind of lose what makes it special in the first place. And I think crowds feel that out very often.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's like if you're not putting on a show, if you're not, you know, if you're not really in it, then people will know, and it's just kind of like, oh, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Just a bunch of Mike Wazowskis, just like. Oh shit, like what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to tell the difference between like a performer that's comfortable on stage and one that isn't, which is kind of a shitty thing, but it is certainly the truth. Like it is very, very hard to like, I think, get into performance if you see a performer that's like not super into it, you know? Were you somebody that grew up going to a lot of shows, and if so, do you think that impacted your stage presence? Like, was there anybody you took a lot of inspiration from on stage?
Yeah, honestly, like going to shows since I was like, I think 12.
Wow.
Or something with like my mom. We went to like my first concert ever was a Caifanes concert. And
Nice.
that shit was tight. And like since then we just been going to shows, like local shows and everything like that. And it's cool, you know, seeing all these people up on stage. In 2018 I saw this local band here called Fovia, and Damien moves like crazy, the lead singer of that band, on stage. So I was like, I want to do that. That's what I want to be. And then, you know, I watched like a bunch of live videos, like King Cruel, Mac DeMarco, like the live like sessions they got going on. And I kind of like, it's kind of funny. I'm like a little kid on the TV just looking at it. I was like, okay, they move like that, I'm gonna move like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot of that. You know, I think me going off of the question a little bit, me is just like I'm just a bunch of things piled in together, and I don't really know who I am yet.
Interesting.
But like, at the end of the day, that's also cool though, because I get to, you know, I guess through the internet and things like that, we get to document how I turn out throughout the years. And because I was watching a video of myself like two years ago when I first started off. I was like, dude, what the fuck is he doing, man? Like, what is that? Like, like, what was that haircut? I got the same haircut now, and I was like, dude, what was that? Like, that was dumb, and like I do things differently now, and I think that's cool, just to like grow and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. Mario, that's a banger thumbnail right there. I don't know who I am yet. That's a really cool way of saying that. I think you're right, and I think it's really cool in like the social media age where like we are kind of existing in this pocket right now where like we're honestly watching ourselves. It's weird, right? Because we can watch ourselves through social media, like learn who we are in real time, whether that be like on stage or as an artist or just as a person in general. It's like really strange because I guess people could do that before, but not like with the accuracy that they can now. Because I mean, I guess, you know, if you journaled every single day for 10 years, of course you notice some patterns. But like with social media and stuff, you get to actually like watch who you are, and I think it's super self-aware too, to like acknowledge that like you don't know who you are yet, which is a weird concept.
Yeah, no, it definitely is weird because like I'll like look at myself and I'll be like, who are you? You know?
Yeah.
A lot of the time that's kind of what I think about. It's just like, dude, who am I gonna be today?
Yeah.
You know, am I gonna take a shower? You know, am I gonna, you know, change my underwear? You know, all the nitty gritty, man. You know, it's beautiful just to live like that and be like, okay, like I'm 19 right now, and I don't know who I 19? Am. Yeah, I'm 19. Yeah,
that's sick, man.
And I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and that's cool because shit's somewhat working.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think that's a very, very good mindset to have. I think too many people try to be a specific version of themselves and not just like whatever comes.
Yeah, man.
I think it's really, really easy to fall into a trap where like whether it's you know, you're trying to emulate things that you see, you're trying to emulate things that you want to be, but like in turn, that takes away from like who you really are naturally. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to like want to be something specific, right? Like I think it's good to like look at other people or like other qualities in people and try to emulate them, but at the end of the day, you're just an amalgamation of your experiences, you know?
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
Yeah, an amalgamation of your experiences. Growing up in the Valley, you brought up your mom. Were you guys close growing up? Were you guys going to a lot of shows and stuff here in the Valley specifically? Tell me a bit about like some of the music that you were influenced by and kind of grew up around in the Valley and stuff. Because I'm from the Bay Area, but I moved to LA and kind of had this weird experience because I'm like in the Valley, but like always going to LA. So it's kind of getting like both of the worlds, and it's always been interesting to me to like talk to people from this area and get more about like the differences between like LA and the Valley. So did you feel like you grew up like connected to an LA music scene, or did you feel like you were more so like a Valley kid?
I think well, at least going back to the first question with my mom, you know, my whole entire life I lived with just my mom, you know, like a stepdad, but you know, and with her I was always just very close to her. So we would always go to like concerts and shit like in LA, never locally. But through that I kind of got like into like the whole like, oh, like let's go watch a show shit, like, oh, I don't have a car, I'm not trying to drive that far away, you know, like, let's do something local. And then I got into it. My uncle Harper helped me out with all that, and they took me to my first show here locally was with Fovia, the Voxes, unending thread, and I think Sad Park was there. I don't know, something like that. And through there, I kind of just like started going through to a bunch of like local shows and things like that, like, and it was cool doing all that. I would say I'm more of like a Valley kid, instead of LA, because like I don't know what the hell is going on in LA. You know, I say I'm from LA, but I'm not from there. But you know, it's cool. You know, I'm like 20-30 minutes away. Might as well just put it in that little pocket right there. Yeah. But music here locally really helped me like see like, oh, like a brown person can do it too, you know. Like it's like an indie kid thing. It's like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean, like and so like just from seeing everybody here, I was like, okay, yeah, I could do it too. And you know, that built my confidence up a lot, and I'm here now.
I feel like that's like something I've learned very quickly about the Valley. Like there's like a gigantic culture of like Latin fronted kind of indie adjacent music here, which is really sick and something that I didn't know before I moved here at all. It's like this own little local pocket that kind of sits as like this cousin to LA, which is really, really cool and really special.
Tight. Yeah, it's tight.
Especially when like, it's interesting, right? Because so many people like move here for music, and you would think that they'd be just only exposed to things that have kind of like immigrated here from other cities or other states, right? Like people that have come here to like pursue music, and a lot of that stuff is like pop leaning things. But it's really cool that like more so just like 20 minutes north of that, there's like this whole more like localized scene of like a lot of like specifically Latin fronted indie type stuff. I mean, so many of those bands like right now I think are having really cool moments, like whether it's like Mexican Slum Rats or the High Curbs or Red Pears. A lot of those bands, like all Latin fronted kind of indie adjacent leaning bands, just all in that same world that are really like doing their thing right now. Were you like watching that scene as you were kind of coming up?
Yeah, dude. Dude, like the Mexican Slum Rats are like crazy. I remember seeing them a lot, like a while ago, and the Red Pears too. That was crazy. The drummer for Mexican Slum Rats now used to drum for me a while back.
Oh, cool.
So that was cool. Cool little connection there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's really cool that there's like a lot of like Latin indie stuff. Like, there's this band I play with every now and then called Shirley Tempo, and it's like they like push it forward, and I'm like, yeah, like that's tight.
It's really sick.
Really motivated me to be like, oh yeah, like all this things, like, you know, it does work. You know, it can work out. It's cool. And especially the Red Pears, I
mean, it's gotta be super inspiring seeing it so close and like locally and stuff too.
Yeah.
I saw too that you play like a lot of shows in the Valley specifically, like opposed to LA. I guess I didn't know I'm always learning about these little pockets of like Valley stuff. Like, I'm surprised there's not more like venues out here, more traditional venues.
Yeah, dude, there was one back like in North Hollywood. It was called like the Knitting Factory, and it was so cool.
Oh, did that?
But
close?
Like that closed down.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but apparently it might come. I don't know. It's a really cool place. We played there. Like once a while back. But other than that, dude, there's like nothing here. There's nothing here. Yeah, like in regards to venues, it's always like a warehouse or like a house or something like that. And I just haven't been too lucky with like getting into the LA scene. Yeah. You know, like that's still a little bit of a problem. Yeah. Or not problem, just a little, you know, wall. Yeah, no, I totally feel that. It's cool though. I think like there's space everywhere for everybody. I think it's really sick. Like, I don't know, like I think about music scenes a lot and like a lot of scene oriented stuff and like the connections between like bands locally with other bands and stuff. And I always think it's interesting to think about like newer musicians as like the beginning of something new. It's kind of like seeds, you know. Like I think all it takes is like one musician in one scene to kind of like really propel forward, and then a bunch of kids just follow that person, which is a really, really cool thing to watch, I think. Yeah. No, that's so cool. I always like that. You know, I know that me and a couple of my friends, we like love the whole like local scene shit and everything, and like we've just been so inspired by it. Like me, Enoch, Jerry, you know, like we're just all inspired by it, and you know, it kind of all just kind of pushes us forward. Yeah, because we're like, oh yeah, like again, everything's possible, you know, like especially like growing up in like media that says it's not possible. You know, like a bunch of like going on to that, like that's when true. I first started like posting a lot of the reels that I post now that are really stupid. They're so dumb. I like hate posting them, but there's like a lot of people that love to hate, especially like Latino people themselves, bro. Like they even them they're like Latino hate and shit. And it's like like we'll be posting something. I saw it with Shirley Temple too. It's just a bunch of hate comments being like, "Oh, you're not even a real Mexican" and shit like that. It's
what
like
does that mean?
Dude, because like we're playing like indie music, and that's like the white boy thing. Yeah, it's just like oh damn, like, but all that is just kind of like feel for it, you know, because it's like oh no, like, you know, like you don't even have to. It's not a race thing, you know. It's just a genre, you know. Everyone can be a part of it. Yeah, it doesn't have to be so, you know.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Like that.
I think it's strange when you start to like ultra label things like that. You know,
yeah,
it's like this genre of this person playing this kind of music, and they're all this race. Like, I don't think it has to be that defined.
It does not.
It can just be like what it is. You know.
Yeah.
Being also like, I mean, outside of all that, like being younger in this is really cool that you're 19 and stuff, and just like you're already getting your foot in the door and shit. Have you felt like how does it feel? Because I would imagine on a lot of bills you're like one of the younger people, right?
Yeah.
Has that been cool to try to like look at some older folks that are playing around you and like learn things from them still being so young? Or do you feel like there are advantages to that? Or do you feel like it's been a more difficult thing to navigate? How has it been kind of playing on some bills with some older people when, you know, you're 19?
You know, I never actually really noticed it because I'm just kind of like, you know, just in the moment, like we're all on the same bill, you know, we're just playing some music. That's all that really matters, you know?
Yeah.
But like every now and then I do kind of think about it. I'm like, dude, yeah, like I'll be like in my like head, I'll just be talking to my lovely lady Sophie, and I'm like, dude, like I suck, like I hate all, like I don't want to do this anymore, like I like it's so hard. And then she's always like, well, like, you know, like look at where you're at right now, like with your age, like, you know, doing everything. Like not a lot of people did it when it was my age, and I was like, oh, like, you know, it's easy, you know, anybody can do it. She's like, no, like not a lot of people can. I'm like, okay, like whatever, you know. Yeah, I'll just let you have that one, you know. Just kidding. But like, yeah, no, it's like, damn, like that's cool. I feel like something that had really changed my perspective on like the whole like music thing in general was going on my first tour ever across the country with Shirley Tempo. And that kind of changed like music forever for me. Like that was literally
and they're from
only,
the Valley
like,
too?
No, they're from Santa Ana.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But they that like kind of changed everything for me musically, because I was like, oh shit, like this is really professional. Yeah. You know, we're in a van, we're sleeping, like this is what it is, you know. And I was like, damn, like that shit's crazy. And I feel like coming back from that, coming back to the Valley, I'm always like, damn, like it was just a joke almost, you know what I mean? Like this was just to be stupid, like just to make music and like be dumb and you know, just play a bunch of shows. But like when it starts becoming a reality, you're like, whoa, like that's weird, like I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with this. Yeah, but you know, I'm trying to push it to the fullest, you know.
I mean, it makes sense.
Hopefully it works.
Reflect, like talking about what you were just the beginning of that thought there. I think it is really difficult to like try to like objectively analyze like where you are in comparison to like other people, and I think like that can be a really, really slippery slope when you start to just like compare yourself to other folks around you, be it people in your field or your age or you know your genre or whatever. I think it can get really difficult because like you're right, there is no like non-linear path with this shit. I mean, like you see all the time musicians that are like hit their 30s and like that's when they have their moment, or like that's when they begin to find traction. I think it's all just about like taking every single day as like its own battle and kind of like trying to learn every single day. And if you know every single day there's a lesson, I think you're moving in the right direction, regardless if you're 45 or if you're 12, you know.
Dude, yeah, I see that. Yeah, I agree with that heavily, you know. Sometimes like I'll have these days where it's like, oh, like I didn't feel like I did shit today, I didn't learn anything. Like, dude, like, what the fuck was that? Like, I didn't even do anything with music. I'm just like, what the fuck was that? You know? Like, I'll just get so, like, ugh, whatever. But I also think those days matter, too, because it's like, oh, like, if that's, like, it's like, what is that thing? It's like with music where it's like music is, like, this, like, the silence of, it's just, like, silence and shit, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, like, that's cool. And then that's how, kind of how I see that. It's like, if I'm not doing anything, like, that's cool, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay to not do anything and then come back to it, you know? Like, if it's not working, it's like, okay, you know, it's always a good, like, detox.
Yeah, for sure. I think the worst thing you can do is wake up every single day and try to force something that isn't there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think that's how you make this into, like, I mean, not to say that it's bad if it's a job, but that's how you make it into, like, something that's not inspiring anymore. Like, you're no longer working out of, like, you're no longer working out of inspiration, you're working out of obligation.
Yeah.
You know, like you're just doing this every single day because it's like a job, or like you're doing this every single day because you have to, not because you want to. Mm-hmm. And it's a difficult balance because like you want to obviously take yourself as seriously as you can, and you want to like, you know, make this a serious thing, but at the same time, like you have to kind of like nurture why you got into it in the first place, which was the enjoyment of it, which was the fun of it, you know? Mm-hmm. It's a super hard balance, I think, to kind of maintain. Are you somebody that, I guess on that note, are you somebody who kind of like writes every day? Or do you really, I mean, you said you value those days where you do nothing. Are those days where you're just like more reflecting on experiences and trying to come up with things to write about? Are you somebody who like thinks about music every single day? Or what's kind of like your writing process like? Do you write every single day, or does it kind of just come in waves?
Well, I like, that kind of just depends like where I'm at in my life right now. Because like the early this year and like late last year, I was just like writing, just trying to get like everything down, you know. And like during that point of my life, I was just like, you know, just by myself, you know, just doing everything that I thought was like good and whatnot. Oh shit, there's a fucking fly in here, man. There's a fucking fly.
Mario, can you pass me that fly swatter? I'm gonna murk him. I'm gonna wait till he sits. I'm gonna murk his ass, bro.
Oh my god.
Oh, right here. Hit him. Oh, murk his ass, bro. As soon as he sits down, I'm gonna literally murder him.
He's trying to chill with us, man. He's trying to chill.
What were you saying?
Dude, I don't even remember.
Every day writing.
Oh yeah. So like a while ago, I would just write like a bunch of shit. Just like, you know, like if I'm not writing, I'm not doing shit. But recently, shit has been different. Shit has been different where I just haven't been writing so often. Usually when something like that like is very emotional happens, I'll just get behind the guitar, play some chords and figure something out. But usually right now, I'm not writing anything. You know, I just finished the album that's gonna come out soon, and I'm ready to just chill and just, you know, work on that album and see where that goes. And all that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I want to talk more about the album, but before we do that, I kind of want to wrap back around what you were saying about tour. How many dates was that tour with Shirley Tempo? And I know you said that was like a very informative experience for you. Were there any specific experiences that really like changed the way that you were looking at music on that tour? I know you said it was something that really was like huge for you.
Yeah, dude, that tour was a month and a half, and I had joined them. They went on tour for like 2 months, but I joined because the guitarist had to leave early. And I met them at like Cedar Rapids in Ohio or Iowa. No, in Iowa. And I was like, whoa, like that's the Hillary Clinton thing, you know, the Cedar Rapids.
Yeah. Just chilling in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, so I was there and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like just the fact that music brought me to a place that was
I got him.
Oh hell yeah.
Marked his ass.
That music brought me to a place like fucking Cedar Rapids. Like that's wild. Like I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, that's cool. Just like being out there, it taught me a lot. You know, how to survive mostly, cause like being out there is crazy. Like there was a time where we were in Florida. And during Florida, we toured in the summer, so it was just like hot. It was disgusting. We were in Tampa. It was hot, disgusting. And we lost a lot of money because we like touring on the east side. Like, there's not a lot of people there. Or, like there is, but like not really indie and stuff like that. Like on maybe like New Jersey and New York and Florida and stuff like that. But we were over there. We lost a lot of money, and then we got to Florida, and it was like hot, dude. It was like 110 or something. Yeah. And it's like humid over there, so it's like I'm over it. I don't want to do any of that. So we were low and we were trying to buy an Airbnb because there's no way we're about to stay in some van, right? So we're like, oh,
it's just
no,
too hot.
Yeah, I was like, nah. So I only had like $20 on me, and I decided it would be a smart idea for me to go into a grocery store and buy a lottery card, because and like I'm stupid because when we were in New Jersey, I turned my $5 into a $50 through just like lottery cards.
Oh my god!
And I was like, okay, like that's cool. Like, I can do it. You know, like there's something. I got like beginner's luck or something. And I went in Florida to make my 20 into like something more, and I lost it. I lost it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, oh, I won like $1,000.
No, dude, I lost the money. That's the only money I had, and so I was just like, dude, we're in the fucking heat. Like, this sucks. Like, I need like shelter. You know what I mean? So we were just like, damn. We were all just there and just like in the van, sweating our asses off. We're kind of regretting what we were doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of the time on tour, that's like kind of like the feeling. Like when you're not playing the show, it's like, dude, what the hell am I doing out here?
Yeah.
Especially me. I was 18 when that tour happened.
That's crazy.
Like, and so I was there with a bunch of strangers. I just graduated high school. You know, I'm just like, dude, what the, like, you know what I mean? Like,
what
that shit was crazy. Yeah, like, what is happening? Like, I've dreamt of doing this since I was a kid. You know, but like now it's happening and it's weird, and I'm like in Airbnbs or playing these venues and stuff like that, and there's people actually here to see us, and it's like, whoa, like it's a cool experience, but it was very lonely.
Yeah.
Very, very lonely.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, it almost kind of felt like I was a ghost while I was on tour, because I've never been away that long from like my mom, you know, my friends, you know, my girlfriend. So it was like, dude, like what the hell? And the whole entire time I felt like a ghost over there, because I would go on Instagram and I would see like people's stories, and I'd see everyone hanging out, or I see my family got together or something like that, and it almost felt like I was in the afterlife. I was like, whoa, dude. Whoa. like this is what it would feel like if I were to be dead. You know, like, and if the afterlife is real or anything like that, you can overlook people, like it would be like that. And I was like, dude, like that sucks. And
yeah, it
was after one of our Atlanta shows where like two weeks had already gone by. I haven't even called my mom. I don't, like, you know, like I haven't called her yet because we were just so busy, you know, just doing a bunch of stuff. And then I call her after the show in Atlanta, Georgia. Literally I start talking to her. I'm like, hey, like, what's up? Like, what are you doing? Like, she was at a party, and I was like, oh, mom, like, that's cool, you know. And then I just started telling her, like, I wanted you to know, like, it's really hard being out here, you know, everything's not so certain. Yeah. You know, but it was a weird feeling, because I was so happy to be out here, but I missed everything. And knowing that there was just like 4 weeks left, I was like, oh, dude, I'm cooked. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to die out here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I've never been that far away from home for that long, like, ever. So I was like, dude, and that was a weird feeling, because I was just like, you know, like after I called my mom and I heard her voice, I just broke down, because I was like, I'm over here, everyone I love is here, but I'm doing something so cool right now, but it's almost like if I come back, no one cares. Like, no one, like, knew about it. Like, people knew about it, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't really know what had happened, what had gone down, and how it feels like to be on the road and things like that. And it was just a fucked up but amazing experience. You know, I would do it again all the time. Like, now that I'm better with it, I definitely would do it all the time. But the fucked up thing, though, is when I came back the first tour, the month and a half, I had gotten back here to the Valley, and I was so used to not having a stable place for a month and a half. Like, I was almost homeless in a sense, you know what I mean? Like, and so coming back, it was weird. It almost felt like the Valley was no longer like my home. Like, I didn't have a home anymore. So I remember like roaming the streets, like driving and things like that, and it almost felt like I almost felt guilty, like, for leaving. Like, I was like, oh, like, you know, like, it was almost like a self-hatred. I was like, oh, like, I don't, you know, deserve to be leaving, you know, like, I don't deserve to be doing all this stuff. Like, nobody here gets it. Nobody knows what it's like. And I didn't deserve to do it, you know? And I would just feel like everything was judging me. Like, even like the walls or like the trees and shit like that, the grass, the air. I was like, dude, like, I feel judged right now for being back here. But I also think it's also because I was so used to not having a place to stay at, that the Valley kind of almost felt like, oh, I'm just gonna stop here and keep going. Yeah. But after a while, after talking to my friends and everything and getting accustomed again, it felt like home. And I went on another tour with Shirley Tempo, and we went out with the Frights, and it was cool. And when we came back, it didn't feel like that. You know, it didn't feel like that. And I kind of felt better about being away, Cause I knew like, okay, like even if I'm gone, I know this is my home.
Yeah.
You know, I feel so comfortable here. You know, I don't feel like the trees aren't welcoming me or anything like that. Like I feel like even when I came back, I was like, okay, like I'm back, and
yeah,
I feel like this is my home and everything, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that's something that I was really nervous about with touring and things like that, was that like I was gonna love it, but it would be like a fucked up thing where I was like, oh, when I come back home, I don't even think this is my home.
Yeah.
You know, like I can live on the road. Yeah. Sorry for the yapping.
No, that's dude. Keep yapping. That's awesome. No, that's a really really interesting experience. I think like it makes a lot of sense. There's like this weird level of balance between like a touring musician's life at home and their life on the road, because there's just no stability on the road really at all until you like are making enough money to where like you can afford this lifestyle on tour that you can like somewhat use to emulate. I guess you're
staying in hotels. And
yeah. So at least then you have like some resemblance of normal. But I think there's a lot of beauty in the fact that like you love your home so much that like you want to like take it to other places. I think that's a really beautiful thing. I think like that's kind of what touring is in my mind. It's like bringing the slice of home, bringing the slice of the sound from the place that you're from to like other places and like meeting those people. And I think I would imagine, like, was it hard to be present in those experiences when like you're so consumed with everything that's going on, right? Like you're out on the road for the first time, you're away for the first time, you're like away from home for the first time and dealing with all those emotions. But at the same time, you're having all these really, really valuable present experiences where you're like meeting tons of different people and playing all these different shows and just experiencing so much at once. It had to be so overwhelming.
Yeah, it was crazy. It didn't feel, like I said, real. When I think about everything and the whole like month and a half that I was gone, it almost feels like a blur.
Yeah.
It's almost like if it didn't happen, like I'll go back to those memories, I'll be like, damn, like that went by so fast. Like it's like literally like 4 weeks ago, or no, like 5 weeks ago that it happened, So I was like, whoa, like that's crazy. Or not 5 weeks ago, 5 months ago. Mm-hmm. Stupid. I'm dumb. Yeah, so it was like, dude, like, and I remember one thing while being on tour was that I felt like if it was never gonna end. You know what I mean? Like while I was on there, I was like, dude, like I'm gonna be here forever. Yeah. Like I remember being like on the second week, like I said, and just like looking at like the month that I had to go through and gaslighting myself. I was like, okay, well, guess what? I just went through the 2 weeks, or the 2 weeks. So the 2 weeks are done, and all I have is 4 weeks left. And honestly, that first week is gonna go by so fast because you have so many shows. So technically, you have 3 weeks, and because you have 3 weeks, that's close to 2. And because of the, two, then you go to 1. Yeah. And it's like, oh, like we'll get there eventually, And that's how I got through it. Was just kind of lying to myself, like, oh, we're almost home, when we were literally not home. We're like half across the country, and it's like, oh no, we're there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, earlier when I was saying like performing is kind of like this super weird like thing that humans probably aren't meant to experience. I think touring is similar. Yeah. Where like, dude, like it's so like it's just like such a new concept. The idea of this thing where you can just like go out, like it's weird when you think about it. Like you go down the road and you're in literally a different place every single night, playing a different show. It's like you're an NPC. It's like you just like spawn in to a different city every single night.
Dude, yeah. I had this one experience where I felt like exactly like that, like to the fullest, because we were in El Paso, Texas, at this venue called Lowbrow, and another fly. And
I'll get him too.
We had got in there, and I had just driven like 6-8 hours, 6 to 8 hours, and we were there. And I was so tired. So as soon as we get there, there's like a really good green room, and I just go to sleep on the couch. I'm like, I'm about to knock the fuck out. Let me know when the show's happening. I go to sleep. I sleep for like 4 hours, dude. Yeah, like I sleep for 4 hours because we get there early before we start actually playing. So I sleep for 4 hours. And in my head, because I slept for 4 hours, I thought I was sleeping.
Yeah.
Because it's already nighttime. Like I thought, like, okay, like I'm just gonna go to bed. Like I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. That's what's gonna happen. And here I am, just sleeping on this couch, and next thing you know, like Ricky, the drummer of Shirley Tempo, just taps me. He's like, yo. I was like, what? And then I hear Alex, the singer from Shirley, was like, we were playing right now. We got a show. I was like, what? What are you talking about, dude? And Ricky's like trying to push me. He's like, dude, come on, we're about to play, dude. We're about to play. I'm like, what? Play what? And I got so pissed off.
Somewhere
I
else.
was like, what are you talking about? Like, dude, just let me. What are you talking about? And then they're like, dude, we're playing a show right now. And then I got up. I was like, oh shit. And so like here I am half asleep, just stumbling to the stage. And I get up on stage, and it was a weird feeling because right there and then it felt like Guitar Hero. Like those people weren't even in front of me. I was like half asleep, and I was like, okay, like I'm here. I'm playing for a movie right now. You know, like I'm an actor. You know, like, I was like,
in the simulation.
Yeah, I'm in a simulation right now. And I remember playing that whole entire show and thinking, dude, what is my life?
Yeah.
You know, like, what did I get into? Like, what is, like, I love it, you know what I mean? But, like, how many more times can I be waking up and go play a show like that? Because I'm a tired guy, you know? I get eepy, you know? I get really tired, you know? How much more of that can I handle?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I just go to sleep and it's like, hey, get up, we're about to play. I was like, okay, we're about to play.
Yeah.
And maybe I might get used to it. Maybe I might not. But I think...
I don't know if that ever feels normal.
Yeah. But, like, that's cool, though. Because then, like... your life feels almost unique. You know, like you're not like, that's something I strive to always have in my life, is to feel some sort of like weird shit or like uniqueness going on.
Yeah.
Because like I don't think that I can work, you know, like 9 to 5s like forever. You know, like I worked at Cane's in Northridge.
Good ass chicken.
Dude, like it was cool and everything, but I hate it now.
Yeah.
I hate it. I would be like on the like fryers and I'd get like inhale the Cane's like gas and shit. And then I'd go home and I'd cough and I'd like taste it and I'd be like, oh dude, fuck that shit. That shit's disgusting. So I got out of there. I was like, I don't give a fuck. And then I went to Universal Studios and I worked there for a little bit. That was cool. And now what I do is Spirit Halloween, which is stupid. It does not matter,
dude. But that's such a weird like experience. Like it's so strange to like experience those shows and then just go back to just like working a job and just being like a normal like individual. And you're like, none of these people know that I was standing in front of like 1,000 people like a week ago playing these songs. Like there's literally no way to like turn that on and off. It's so weird to kind of like go back to reality in that way. But that is, I guess, like what being a musician is for like a large portion of your career. It's like feeling like the ultra lows and the ultra highs. And I think like that's so much of what tour is. And I think the goal should always just be like, how can I somehow find some resemblance of remaining in the middle and not getting like too high with those highs and not getting too low with those lows, and like trying to find this balance where I can feel at least somewhat like this isn't going to be like a shock to my system every single time.
Yeah. No, yeah, man, that shit's like a drug, you know?
Yeah.
If you go in and you know, like with me, I loved it. Mm-hmm. You know, it was like the best thing ever. Every single night felt like I was playing Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like, I loved it. I grew up on that game. I loved it. And that's the fucked up part, is that when you come back, things don't feel the same. You know, you kind of get off the drug a bit and almost like have like withdrawals.
Yeah.
You know, like there'd be so many times where I'd be like, dude, like I want to play a show tonight. Like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, this is what I thrive. This is what I like doing. This is what I want to do. And I'm not doing it. So there's so many times
like a double
where,
life.
Yeah. So like I'll come back and I'll just be like, dude, my life sucks. Like, what am I doing? I have a shitty job. You know what I mean? Like, I'm struggling to pay some gas and whatnot. But like just a while ago, I was like playing big shows. Yeah. You know, so I'm always like, dude, you know, it's a weird life. You know, it's definitely a weird life.
Yeah, it's bizarre, bro. I don't know if it'll ever feel normal, but I think like those experiences are super like rewarding in the long run. I think like it's the kind of thing where it's like it's so unique that such like a small percentage of folks get to actually experience that, and like you will forever be changed by those experiences and have a different outlook than anybody who doesn't get to do that. You know, it's very much like a grounding thing, and I think it's really important to try to like know that and be grateful for that. And like try to figure out how to like at least grapple with it, you know? Yeah. Especially since it's such like a lifelong journey as well. Like it's so long, dude. It's like I don't think you can like get to that level where you're playing those kinds of shows and then and just like one day stop and never do any of it over again. It becomes a thing that just changes you forever.
Yeah.
And you just continue trying to get to that place over and over and over again. And I think that is kind of beautiful in a way, because you're always just like, you're always taking a step forward to try to like elevate that. But I think it's also important to try to like figure out how to love it in the moment.
Yeah, I think so. You know, if you get like too caught up on anything, you know, it'll just kind of ruin you. So like I just try to kind of be like, okay, like if I'm here, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, like it's good to be here, because when I'm not here and I'm on tour, I'm like, dude, I want to go back home. So I'm like, do I want to go back home or do I not? Like, just, you know, I just like to enjoy being here while I still am.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, man, you never know. Like one of those tours, maybe something goes wrong, I don't come back. You know, so it's always like, okay, like this is gonna be the last time that I might be here.
Yeah.
You know, let me enjoy it to the fullest. You know,
be as present as possible.
Enjoy little moments.
Yeah.
You know,
there's this quote that I love. I'm trying to remember what book it's from. I can't recall. But there's this quote where it talks about anxiety being the fear of the future, and then depression being fear of the past, and then presence being peace. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think like the more present you can be, the more grounded you can be, the more peaceful you can be. I think like that is genuinely like the goal always, is like finding yourself in your shoes and feeling exactly where you are and all the emotions associated with it 24/7, and not feeling the past and not feeling the future. And I think it's so hard to do that in an experience like touring, because it's all these highs and these lows. But if you can somehow manage remaining present when all these incredible things are happening, and just like tell yourself, oh, I'm experiencing this now and it's beautiful, I think then you walk away with those experiences learning a lot more.
Yeah, I got nothing to say to that. I agree with that.
Hell yeah.
Completely.
Coming back, I know you said that you're kind of in this place where you finish this project now. You have an album that you're like beginning to roll out, right?
Yeah, little by little.
How was that process like, kind of getting back from tour? And then like, was the goal once you got back, like, I'm going to lock in and I'm going to like really make sure this project is like what I want it to be? And do those songs, I know you put a single last month. That sounds pretty different from a lot of the stuff you put out in the past. There is a lot more jazz influence in it. There's a whole sax part to it. Yeah. Definitely experimenting with like some new sounds. Were those all kind of directions that came out of the whole album process? And were they songs that existed long before? Or was it the move more kind of like, I'm going to come home, I'm going to make this batch of songs over this period of time?
Yeah. A lot of the songs on the album are like things that I had made recently, but there's like 2 or 3 in there that are like old songs that I kind of just recycled, and I was like, okay, let's use them, you know what I mean? But I think I'm trying to kind of create my own sound almost, while borrowing from a lot of people like the Buttertones, Mac DeMarco, King Cruel, the Wallows and things like that. And I'm kind of just trying to combine all that, make it mine. You know, in regards to like what I was thinking, really, like if there was going to be saxophone or anything, I was like, nah, you know, I never really thought about it. I just kind of got back home and I was like, this song would sound good with the saxophone. Yeah. And then that turned into like, wait, this song would, then this song would, and then like the whole album has saxophone now, and it's like, cool. Oh shit. So yeah, this next project is going to be very jazzy, very cool, very different, and I'm excited. A lot of my old songs too have a lot of like jazz influences in them, but they're not as like pronounced, maybe like they're just like chords and shit like that. So
like different voicings and stuff that like exist in the jazz world.
Yeah, I just use that. Yeah.
Is that a world of music you grew up on? Or like
actually no.
How did you get into it?
Literally through indie music.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, literally. I would just like learn like Rex Orange County or Tyler the Creator and shit like that, and Mac DeMarco. And I was like, all these chords are literally just like jazz. And then I got into like King Cruel, and then it was like, oh wow, like the jazz is cool. Yeah. You know, and like specifically jazz guitar chords. I was
gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was like, this is cool. Like this is what I want to do.
It's like the 7th chord wormhole.
Yeah, no, literally, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and it's cool though, cause like a lot of people are doing it too. Yeah. You know, it's not just me. People are doing it like their own ways, you know, like I would kind of like, in a way I'd almost say like punk jazz. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, you know, like the Junies, they have this song called Otra Vez and a bunch of jazz chords on it. And it sounds crazy good though. It sounds like it's a mosh song, you know what I mean? It's cool. Yeah.
It's really cool to like kind of take those influences and reinvent them in a light that like exists on like the live world, in these like two different genres that are both really live based, right? I mean, jazz is an incredibly live genre of music, but so is rock music, and it's like when you bring those two things together, you get this like really, really, really cool world. And I think there's been hints of that happening. Like I think like some of like the European Speedy Wonderground stuff, like Black Midis and like the Black Country New Roads of the world. Like a lot of those bands, I think, or kind of experimented with like this cool mix of like art pop and like jazz and like rock. But I think it's really cool to see it in kind of like the Southern California like indie context for sure. And it's those artists you listed, it is really sick if they kind of like put their own spin on more traditional jazz elements. Like Tyler's a great example of that, and I think King Cruel as well. It's specifically with some of the jazz guitar stuff. Yeah. And they're two sounds that I think like exist really well together. But it's sick that you didn't find the jazz from the jazz. Like you found it
through other people. Yeah. And it's cool. It's cool that way, because then I kind of like, it's almost like you have an appreciation for jazz that otherwise you wouldn't think you would have. You know what I mean? Like when you listen to it, it's like, oh, I remember those chords because they were on like, you know, like Mac DeMarco's album or some shit, like, or it was on King Cruel's like deep cuts and shit like that. You know? It's like, oh, like I remember that shit, and now it's here. And I was like, oh, now I see how this chord works and shit. You know what I mean? Like just shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's cool to like combine those two worlds. When you play the songs from the album live, are you playing them with the saxophonist live and stuff? Yeah, that shit's tight. Yeah, it's the homie Daniel. He recorded everything on the album. And dude, he's tight. He's going to USC for music. Cool. He plays baritone sax. That's what's gonna be on the album, baritone. Nice. And he's like crazy with it. I'm not versed enough to like understand the difference sometimes between like baritone and alto. Like they're very different sounding, right? Yeah. The baritone is just more lower. Sounds more like evil, like growling and shit like the like. And then like the alto sax, like the normal sax is. I think it's called alto. I don't really know. I don't know anything about that. The normal saxophone is more like higher pitched and shit like that. And those are like different instruments, right? Yeah, they're different instruments. That's so interesting. Yeah, it's like a harmonica, like how they come in like a certain key. Yeah, that shit's crazy. Yeah, I had no idea harmonicas were like that until like a couple months ago. I was like, what the hell? They come in different keys. I was like, oh shit, no wonder it sounds like ass whenever I play it. Yeah, I'm like, dude. Yeah, well, it's interesting because there aren't very many instruments like that, but it only has like, I think you can only play like 8 notes on harmonica. I think there's only like 8 holes or whatever. Yeah, so they just come in different keys. Something like that, yeah. Which is like super interesting to me because there isn't very much like that. Like I think like saxophone, harmonica. I can't really think of any like other instruments that come like that. Yeah. No, I couldn't either. That shit's crazy. Harmonicas are a whole different thing. Dude, imagine being a harmonica player. Like on stage with the whole bag and shit, just like, we're playing an A major now. Just take that shit out. Pull out a new harmonica. Dude, yeah, fucking stupid, bro. Yeah, you got like a whole bag of harmonicas. Dumb, bro. Does the crowd get really excited when you pull out the sax? Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah, bro. Dude, when Daniel starts like doing his like sax solos and shit, it's like everyone's like, oh shit, because it's not normal. No, you know, it's really not. Like I think it's becoming a bit more normalized like in bands, but like it's really not that normal. Yeah, you know, especially in like a local scene like this, like when people are like what the fuck, a saxophone, like, you know, like that's stupid. That's cool though, you know. The band you play with now, like how did you meet most of those guys? Were they like childhood friends, or did you meet them through the scene? Like how did you kind of start to build out the band you play with? Yeah, well, at least with Enoch, he's been my longest guy. I met him when I played a show like last year in December, I think. Or no, like 2 years ago in December. I met him, 2 years ago. We played a show in December, and we kind of just talked after that because I became friends with him. And since then, he's just kind of been my bassist. My guitar player, I knew him through Enoch. My saxophone player knew him through Enoch. And then my drummer, I met him through like the scene here. Yeah. And yeah, like they're all like really new bandmates too. Gotcha. Like it's all just like, there's always just a cycle, you know. Some people can't do it, you know. It's like, okay, like, you know, like don't worry, like we'll got another guy. Yeah. You know, like if you don't want to do it anymore, like all right, like, you know, like do your own thing. Like much love, much respect. Yeah, it's definitely difficult to keep that together for sure. Yeah. Did you write the project with them, or was it more so you playing and writing on everything, or do you bring in players and stuff? Well, everything before this album that's about to drop right now, everything that's out right now, as of 2024,
is written by me.
Gotcha.
Everything's written by me. Like I do everything. I had done everything in my bedroom and shit, you know, and just like
the production too.
Yeah, just on Logic.
Sick.
Yeah, and I did all of that. But this album, I brought in Enoch to do bass and Daniel to do saxophone.
Yeah.
And I'm still kind of writing the guitar lyrics and the drums and shit like that. Well, I like being in control of all of that anyway. So. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it gets to be so interesting when you can like bring in other musicians and they kind of have like their own spin on stuff too. Like it definitely gives you this environment where you can look at things a bit differently. Because it's cool though, like being the main hand on everything. Because I think then things come out sounding wholly like you, like no matter what you do. Yeah, like it's always gonna sound like you. But I think like being the guiding voice on a project, but then bringing in people to, you know, play a certain instrument, I think that definitely gives it like its own flair. And it's not even like a band context, but it's just like this thing where it's like they're elevating what you're already doing.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's kind of like, you know, like I make the canvas and they paint on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like especially with Enoch and Daniel, like I'll make the structure of the song, I'll have something in mind. And then I'm like, okay, this needs bass. I'm not too good at bass. I'm like, Enoch literally goes to school for bass.
Yeah.
You know, for jazz bass. It's like, you know, like make some shit. Yeah. And he always makes some crazy ass shit. And then Daniel, same thing. I'm like, all right, like you guys make something. It's cool that way because I feel like a lot of the time I listen to my music, I'm like, oh, like I could have done that shit better, or like that's not me anymore. But when they add things to it, it's like, okay, like now it sounds like my song, but it's not fully. But you know what I mean? Like at least now I'm not gonna hate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, like no, it's cool. You know?
Yeah, and I think there's like a lot of loss of ego there you have to go through for sure. I think it's definitely important to like give people an environment to like do what they're best at while you do what you're best at. Yeah. And like trusting in people as well. Like, and I mean, you just said like, you know, Enoch, like being this person who's like in school for bass and like obviously thinking about that every single day. There's just like obviously he has way more of a capacity to like just think about bass
to make
parts.
something bass than I do. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, like I'll let you do that. It's cool that way. Yeah. You know, there's literally sometimes they'll be making shit. We're in the studio all together, and I'll just take a nap, or I'll just step out of the room. Like Enoch, like he's like working on this song with our producer Brian, and Enoch, like I'm about to leave, and he's like, "What? Like, do you want me to do anything else?" And I was like, "Nah, dude. Like, just do you. I trust you. You know what I mean? Like, and whatever you're about to do, I got. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I trust you."
Yeah, that's huge, bro.
Yeah.
I think like from like a studio musician background as well, like that gives them this trust in your sound because you're trusting in them. It's like they're always going to be trying to elevate what they're doing to like best fit whatever you're creating, and it's like trying to figure out how the parts work in tandem and like having that trust where like you can step out and be like, oh, like I just trust you to do your thing. I think the worst thing you can do is like breathe over a musician's shoulder and just be like, I need to
play this.
Yeah, play exactly this, because then it's not them, you know.
It's not, and then it just kind of becomes like this thing where it's like, oh, I don't even want to work with you. You know, you're like controlling and shit like that. I'm like, no, like I don't want to deal with that. You know, like I want us all to be vibing. But I only choose like a specific type of person. You know, when working on the album and stuff like that, because like, you know, like music is a language, but like if I don't fuck with you as a person, then I kind of don't want to play with you. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's, you know, I feel like that's just like with everything though. You know, that's not just like a music thing. You know what I mean? Like if you don't, it's like, well, I don't, just a bunch of negative energy.
I mean, it comes out feeling more transactional that way. I think like if you're playing with people that like you don't genuinely vibe with as human beings, and you just like, you know, like the way they play
like
or
why
something.
do it?
Yeah. I mean, well, why do it? But also, I think it just comes across on the record. Like, I think it's like really hard to like hide that energy in the room. Like, there's definitely a certain tangible thing that like mics capture, where it's like this person felt like they wanted to play with this person, or this person didn't. It's like a very like, it's like energy in tandem, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Did you when you kind of learned production for the first stuff, because did you just mention you were working with a new producer on this latest project? Has that been kind of cool to like have a production background and be in there with another producer, because you guys can like bounce ideas off each other and stuff like that? So has it been like more of a co-producing process? And then also, like, how did you first learn how to produce? And I guess like just going back to some more background stuff, how did you first get interested in like just making music in general, and then what were the first steps you took? Was it guitar or was it production? At
least with Brian, working with Brian, he's really cool. it feels so good to have someone else be in control.
Yeah.
In regards to like production and things like that, I'm like, okay, like I don't have to worry about like how am I gonna record this? You know, like am I gonna record it with the mic this close or just bullshit like that like I don't like thinking about because I think it does cloud up my process. Like if I'm there like thinking about like, oh, I'm gonna mic this shit up, I'm gonna do all this, I'm gonna do all that.
Yeah.
It kind of destroys my creative process because then I'm like, oh well, I can't play the guitar like this because this and this and this.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, like.
That's like tack.
Dude, yeah, I don't even want. I just want to write the song. Mm-hmm. You know, I just kind of want to put it down. I do like producing though, but like, that's like it's become too time consuming for me now. It's just kind of like oh, it's like kind of hard because I forgot a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because all I focus on now is just making the music.
Is like the creative of it.
Yeah. Because I'm like, okay, like I had to learn that. Because I didn't have money to go to a studio, you know, so I had to do it on my own. So I learned through like YouTube and shit. I'd just be like, okay, how do I do this? How do I do that? Like trial and error. And I was like, okay, I did it like this. Now I did it like this, and this sounds better. But then like, you know, the mids and the lows and the highs, and it's like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm like on the fucking Millennium Falcon with all these controls and shit. I'm just like, dude, I'm good. But I definitely think like my knowledge on that makes recording the album with Brian very easy. You know, because if I feel like something's wrong, I'm like, dude, yeah, I don't like this, you know, like maybe we'll chop this off, bring this here, copy and paste, blah blah blah, you know what I mean? Like reverb, all and it's better that way because that's also a language, you know. Like producing is also a language within itself. Like if you don't know what the hell you're talking about, it's like, dude, yeah, what do you mean like middle, like what do you know what are you talking about? The EQ, like the frequencies and shit, like I you know what I mean? It's stupid. But I definitely think that before then it used to kind of be like an ego thing. I was like, oh, like no, it's cool that I do everything on my own. Like, you know, like I want to do everything on my own so that I feel more gratifying when people find out that I do it on my own. But now I'm kind of just letting that go. I was like, it doesn't really matter.
Not really.
You know, like it's stupid. You know, like at the end of the day, it's just music's music. You know, if you're making it with the people you like, then wonderful. Yeah. You know, like that's how it's supposed to be. You know, it's not some sort of competition. It's just like, you know, we're making music. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And I think like that, dude, that's like the beauty of a really, really good engineer too, I think, is like somebody who allows the musicians like the room to be creative while they focus on the more technical aspects of it. Because you're right? Like it's super difficult to think about the most like thought-provoking storytelling when you're concerned about how you're going to mic your drums. Yeah. Like it's very much like two different kinds of brain, you know? And not to say that you can't do both, but if you can, like it might take a little bit of the quality away from one of those things. So it obviously just makes more sense to delegate and be like, this person's worried about the technical aspects of this, and then my brain is in the sound and the storytelling and the lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
When you kind of began, walk me through that. Like, was the first thing you learned production, or did you start on the guitar? It sounded like you began as a guitar player.
It was kind of both, dude. I'll be so honest with you. I kind of just had my guitar, and I was like, oh, this is cool, and I knew GarageBand was the thing. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, if I can record this, then fuck it, let's try to fuck with some things, you know. Like let's try to do something funny or something stupid, and there'd be so many times where I'd just be like on my mom's laptop downstairs, you know, like just like working on some shit, and I was like, and then I'd put it out and I'd be like, oh, this is so cool, and then I listened to it the other day, really recently. I was like, dude, what the hell was I doing? You know, like that shit was stupid, you know. But I feel like, yeah, when I first started off, it was guitar and producing. Yeah, at the same time. I think I've always wanted to kind of just create like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. A lot of the people you're talking about, like, that's like a lot of their process. Like Mac DeMarco, King Cruel, it's very much like guitar production, and then like everything else kind of comes secondary to that. Yeah. In terms of did the songwriting immediately come too, or were you writing songs before you were like producing and singing and playing guitar, or was that like something that came after?
I think it all just kind of came all together at the same time. Yeah, because I just remember coming up with something. I'm like, oh, that's sick. And that's how I remember starting with guitar. Yeah. You know, I remember seeing another thing that made me want to get into it was seeing Finn Wolfhard play My Kind of Woman. Whoa. Yeah, and I saw that video and I was like, oh my god, I want to be like that. Like, you know, I want to do that. Yeah. And that was something that was like, okay, like that's what I want to do. And so guitar was never came to me as in like, oh, I'm gonna learn this instrument because I have a passion for just the instrument.
Yeah.
Like, no, I have a passion for wanting to play the instrument live
And making the songs.
And like putting videos out and doing stupid shit. Like that's what I fell in love with, not like the instrument. But now, like, it's kind of weird because I'm learning to fall in love with the instrument now, because now I'm like learning all these jazz chords and I'm like doing all like a bunch of shit and whatnot, and like, you know, like it's like, oh, like I know you now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a dance with the guitar. It's like, yeah, like, you know, I know you now, and let me get to know you a bit more. And whatnot. Yeah. So yeah.
And that's like an important discrepancy too, I think, to make, because a lot of people fall in love with like just one element before the other ones, but it's cool that you kind of began just in this mindset of like making the songs themselves. Because a lot of people like will fall in love with the writing first, or they'll fall in love with like the guitar first, or they'll fall in love with the production first. But it's just sick that like you always had this mindset of like, I just want to make songs.
Yeah.
Do you, I know you play live a lot. Like, do you consider the live context of songs when you're writing them, or is that kind of just something that comes after? Do you craft the showmanship around the song?
Yeah.
Or does the live elements come into the writing?
Before, actually, I what's it called? I didn't write for like the crowd and stuff. I just kind of like write just to write.
Yeah.
But up until recently, after going on the tour with Shirley, and I saw how they have like songs that are for the crowd specifically, you know, like that get the crowd going. I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna start making things like this.
Yeah.
Like this next album has a couple moments where it's like, oh yeah, that's for the crowd. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you know, like I don't want to forever write like that. You know, like I kind of, after this album comes out, I'm gonna write like more like meaningful things. Like, not that I don't write anything meaningful, but it's just a bunch of like make believe shit. You know, like a lot of like the songs that I have out, like Janet's one of them. Janet isn't even real. Like that's not a real person, bro. Like, that's not like, there's nobody behind that. You know what I mean? Like fucking,
there's no
like
Janet.
Yeah, there's no Maya, there's no Fiend. Like I don't know any of these people. You know what I mean? Like it was just stupid. You know, like I always end up crying. That shit's fake. Take my hand. Sorry. You know what I mean? I'm not a freaking sad person. I'm not a loser. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just no, dude. It's like, I don't know. Like I feel those songs, I definitely have felt that way before though. Like before my life, I have felt that way. But while I was writing them, it was kind of like in a mindset where I was like, I'm not really conscious at all. I'm just writing a song.
Playing a character.
Yeah. So this last album, I kind of like took that away. I was like, oh, like, you know, I'm not trying to be this person, and like I'm trying to be me. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to like do some like other shit. You know, like I'm trying to do what I like, what I genuinely feel, what goes on in my head. And it's gonna be more like thought provoking. Yeah. You know, like the next album is not gonna be like a bunch of stupid songs with like the normal ass indie lyrics. You know what I mean? Like the sad shit. You know, like definitely trying to make shit that's more meaningful. And yeah, for sure. Was there a moment where you like realized that was something you wanted to begin doing? Like, did you have a moment where you realized like I want to start telling stories that are like really about me and about my life and about things, or did it just kind of like accumulate into that? Dude, yeah, there was a moment where I like started like thinking about like what I was doing and shit like that, and like the songs that I had out, and I was like, dude, like these are cool, but like nobody knows who I am. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like nobody actually knows who's the person behind these songs. Yeah. You know, anyone can be sad. You know what I mean? Anyone can be happy. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if you don't have like these like specific like things going on, then like how do you like kind of make yourself look different? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like why are people gonna care? You know, like, and if they do, they don't. You know, like they do. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if they do or anything. But like it's also like, no, like how would I? Yeah. You know, like if this is really what I want to do, like I'm not trying to work no job or anything. Like how could I make people care? Yeah. And, you know, and that's another thing that's hard though, because like I'm not cool. You know, like I mean, like people can say like, oh, like, you know, you do all these things. And I'm like, dude, like no, like me as a person, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm not cool. You know, like I don't know what to sell. I don't know what to do, what to say, or You know, especially like something like this. This is like the first time I'm doing something like this.
Yeah.
And I feel like half the time I'm gonna be yapping. You know, I'm just yapping.
Yapping's
and
beautiful though.
I'm gonna come back on this video later. I'm gonna be like, dude, what was he talking about? Like, dude, what was this guy talking about? Like, dude, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
But that's beautiful, dude. There's there's something really cool about doing interviews like this, because I think it's very much a stream of consciousness and very much like first thing that comes to your brain. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And there's something like relatable about music in there, I feel like.
No, but it's like, dude, like with things like that, like I feel like anything that comes in my head and shit, like, it's stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like a word I use a lot that I try to stop using is like and and I'm just like, dude, I don't know how to stop that. A lot of the conversation turns into a like fest, and
I do it a ridiculous
dude,
amount.
it's so stupid, man. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, no, I totally feel you there, bro. It's all just like trying to figure out, like, do I talk about myself in the lens of a character, or do I just tell these stories the way that they're meant to be told? Yeah. And it's always like this weird battle, you know? I was going to ask you about your artist name, too, because I assume just your birth name's just Dyego, right?
Yeah.
So, like, did that play a role there? Just, like, choosing your artist name just be your first name? Was that, like, what was the thought process behind that? Was it because you just wanted to be portrayed as, like, you over everything else?
I guess, like, yeah, like, a combination of all of that, you know? I was just kind of, like... Well, I tried getting a band for the longest amount of time. Like, originally I wanted it to be a band thing. And I couldn't get, like, members, like, that were going to be here fully all the time. So I had just,
I missed him. Wait till he lands. Should fuck him up right now. Oh.
On the soundboard? Where'd he go?
I think I got him.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, he's done. So. What are you saying, though?
Yeah, no, I tried starting a band. And it never worked. So I was like, okay, fuck that. You know, I'm like, no, like that. I'm not trying to do that. You know, I kind of want to be like control of everything. Then if nobody is like down to do it,
yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll just do that. And I started doing it all on my own. And then I was like, okay, well, just like I'll name it after myself. Yeah. But like it won't necessarily be me. Cause it's like DYEGO when it's like DIEGO. Like that's like the government. So it's like, okay, like, you know, if I just do it like that, you know, like, who cares? You know, it's just it's a Y. It's still me, but it's not. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I think one thing I was very nervous about was starting off is like that I don't have an image, and that's still something that I think about a lot now. I'm like, dude, like, who am I? Yeah. You know, like, what's my image? I'm just kind of here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have like a niche or anything. I kind of just do everything. Yeah. And so I'm just like, okay, I don't know what it is, but eventually, you know, it'll pop up. Maybe, you know, there'll be a wave or something like that. Yeah. You know, for a while I was trying to wear pro clubs like shirts and try to make it indie. Okay. You know, and I was like, okay, like what if I make the pro club indie? You know, like what if I do that shit? And that shit was stupid. I hate pro clubs now. I hate how they feel like. I was like,
what are pro clubs?
It's like t-shirts. Oh. Yeah. It's like the t-shirts.
Gotcha.
And like usually it's like more like gangster looks and shit like that. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna make the pro club indie. And I was like, that was stupid. I made like one reel about it. Nobody gave a shit. And I was like, okay, yeah, like I don't. Okay, yeah, like, I'm done. That was stupid. Like that was dumb. Yeah.
I think it's easy to like overthink that shit too. Like it's really easy to overthink like, do I want to like be portraying something that's not me, or do I want to just be me? And it's interesting, right? Because I think there is like some level of character in everybody. I think like there is some level of like uniqueness in everybody, to where like even if you're not trying to, you're always playing a character because it's just you. Yeah. Like we're kind of all just different characters, have these different qualities. But you're right in the sense that like there are musicians where it's like, you certainly like there are musicians that like I think of a certain thing when I think of that musician, and then there's musicians who like I just think of them, and like those are both equally as valid. But I think I totally understand what you mean when you were saying like, what do I want my image to be, like what I want to look like, and it's a strange thing to grapple with, like figuring out how much of it you just want to be you authentically, and how much of it you know you want to be this character that you kind of play into. Yeah, it makes sense. When you kind of took like that bit of a break from playing shows last year, was that to like write the record and stuff?
Dude, nah, I just wanted to stop. Well, like I wrote some cool shit during that time, but like in my head I was like, dude, I'm playing all these shows, and it shows that I'm putting on. Like no one's inviting me to play anything, so I'm just like, oh, like okay, like it's not working.
Yeah.
And I had a moment where I was like, dude, this is fun, but this isn't gonna like work out. And I just gotta lock in with something else.
Yeah.
Like I gotta get a job. I gotta start going to college. I was like, let me just lock in on something else, and that feeling is almost very suffocating.
Yeah.
It's very it's like shit. Like I'm never gonna amount to anything when I put so much time into it. And every now and then I feel that way too. I'm like, oh, like like what am I doing this for?
Yeah.
I love doing it. But like at the end of the day, I'm very like on survival mode a lot of the time. Like, okay, like can I pay the bills? You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Like, am I gonna get food today or some bullshit like that? And it's always like, okay, like can music work?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like can I make this thing into a job or something? Or I don't know. I'm always kind of just
like juggling it.
Yeah. It's always a very push and pull thing, because I'm like, if this doesn't work out, then I wasted like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
When I could have been going to college. And then people are like, well, go to college. And I'm like, well, I don't want to go to college. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Like, because then I'll be thinking, oh, because I went to college, I didn't succeed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I'm just going to choose this more stupider option. You know what I mean?
It can get really suffocating if you let it like become all you're thinking about, and you let it become this thing that's clouding your thoughts. It's a very, very, very like suffocating thing, and it's easy to drown in it too.
Yeah, it affects the people around you as well.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
But it's so real. Like that constant question of like, if this works, like, is it worth it? And like, will it work? And like, it can be an isolating thing being an artist, because there's literally nothing is certain.
Yeah.
Nothing is certain at all. Like, if you find success, that success could go just like that. Like, you could wake up tomorrow and it could all be gone.
Yeah.
Or if you're not finding success, you could wake up tomorrow and it could all be there. Like, everything could change from the blink of an eye, So it's this really weird lottery you're playing. And I think the most important thing that I think you touched on there too is just like remaining in this state of always trying to pursue the love of it. And I think like if you can somehow get to this place where like you are only creating out of the love of it, the success will follow. And obviously still doing the things you have to do to get by, of course, but then like at the end of the day, like, do you return to making the music? And like, do you go to bed thinking about it every single night? And do you wake up thinking about it every single night? And I think if the answer is yes, it's undoubtable that you should do it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't see it any other way.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a process.
Yeah.
It's
constantly a process. Cool. All right, sick. Diego, last thing I wanted to ask you, if you had like because you have this project coming out, very excited to hear it. If you had like one overarching message that you could translate through this project, this forthcoming album, what would you want it to be? What's one thing you want people to get from it?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I don't know. I'd probably say enjoy life to the fullest. I hope that it makes people like feel like love is real. There's a lot of love in the song, in the album. There's a lot of things in regards to nuclear fallouts too, like a bunch of like shit that's about that. It's just about living in the moment.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure shit out. If you're in a dark place or a happy place, the album's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
We got like shit going like really sad to like really happy, and it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be cool. It's just gonna be a very bipolar album.
Yeah, just grappling with the emotions of being present.
With like shit about me being on tour, staying strong and things like that. Yeah. I guess what I really want from the album to come out is for people to just really resonate with it.
Yeah.
Because if they're not, then
yeah.
What am I really doing it for?
That's beautiful, bro. Well, I'm very excited to hear it, man. Congratulations on all the recent shows and the tour and the success and everything, brother. You got a show tonight.
Yeah.
Tell them where they could find you, where they could follow you, where they could stream the music.
Yeah. Diego_WAV on the Instagram and whatnot. On Spotify, we got Dyego. on Apple Music, Dyego and whatnot. Yeah. Mom's boombox, your grandma's boombox, Dyego.
Hell yeah. Ask.fm. Kick. Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Thanks, bro. Alrighty. Music matters.